when you leave your girl for years to go on an adventure, a selfish adventure, and you leave her behind, you don't even take her with you, what do you expect is going to happen? Well, she'll move on, whether by choice or by force, because of the type of world that you live in, and she'll be betrothed to someone else. Little did we know, going into episode 10, that she would be betrothed to one of the highest nobles, in the kingdom, one of the highest ranking nobles in this kingdom, one of the dukes. She has been betrothed to. Now, how did that end up happening specifically? Maybe her family influenced that. Maybe he picked her out of a hat. Who knows what ended up happening here? But regardless, Celia has officially moved out of the school. She's no longer there. She's no longer being able to pursue her passions. She is now in the royal capital. And our boy Rio just recently learned of where his girl is at. And what is he going to do now? That's the major question. Obviously, he is baffled and surprised by the information that he just found out right now, with him learning that she's going to be wed. And not only she's going to be wed, she's going to be wed like tomorrow. So he has less than 24 hours to go and do something about this. Now, the positive part is obviously Celia isn't all heart into what she has to do right now with being betrothed and having to marry this duke, but she's also not saying no. The other piece of it is she's still carrying the letters, and she's still, thinking very closely, or she still has Rio very close to her heart, because she's still really thinking about him, because she was holding his letter even while speaking to her soon-to-be husband. So we know that obviously she's still very much invested into Rio, but he just hasn't been there, you know what I mean? And if he spent any more time than what he spent now, she would already be married, whether it's by force or not, and he would legitimately have to steal her away. And there is, because of the type of world they live in, and because of, kind of where it is, it's very ancient times, like, of our world. So even if she didn't want to, there would still be acts that she would have to do and perform if she were completely married to this dude. So he's going to have to go in there, and he's going to have to do one or two things. He's going to have to, invade the wedding and, say this can't be, and steal her away then. He's going to have to steal her away prior. He can't just show up and say this can't happen. He's a wanted man. She can't stay there. She's going to have to steal her away. Like, there's going to be something that ends up having to happen here to where it's not going to be clean. It's not going to be a clean break. He's going to have to go and steal his girl away. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly what ends up happening. But I love that this wasn't just he comes back to her, she's still in school. I love that this is like an all stakes, like a high stakes kind of scenario. I do really like that about this episode quite a bit, and I'm very excited to see what happens next week. Now, for everything else, obviously, last week's episode, we got left off on the cliffhanger with his spirit taking form and him waking up with her naked self in the bed and stuff. And the first thing that I said during our reaction video this week, if you guys missed it, click the cards or the video at the end. The first thing that I said this week with her taking her human form, or her taking her physical form, was, please, anime gods, don't let this be tropey. Don't let this be predictable. Don't let her be the form. Don't let her be the girl that he's been pent up on for so long. The one that he saw with the guy and didn't even really confront her. He just thought that she was cheating on him, or not even. He never even got with her. He never got that far. But I was like, please don't let this be that girl. And I said it out loud, even during our reaction, and I said it to hope that it wouldn't happen. And sure enough, during the episode, as she's moving, like little cherry blossoms are in her hair, he sees her he sees the girl he has his crush on in her. And I was like, yep, there it is. There it is. Of course, that's exactly what happened, because anime, right? Because that's just, it has to be predictable and tropey in that nature. And, it's unneeded, and they did not need to do that for this episode. Like, not this anime, they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to force this. She could have been in the world somewhere. She could have been in this world already. Now, obviously, with her being here in some way, shape, or form, that means that she died at some point, whether in the past or in the future. I don't know how this whole reincarnation thing is working here, but she definitely wasn't on the bus. So she has reincarnated into this world at some point. Now, the shitty part or the crappy part of it is that she's specifically assigned to him, so she's going to have to love Haruto, or she's gonna have to love Rio, which in her world may have not been the case. Now we don't know for sure either, because I think that he was operating under assumptions. I don't think he really knew. So I mean, that one I was just like, oh man, that kind of like it took it down for me a little bit. Like I was a little disappointed in that, but you know, it is what it is. I like she definitely there during this time. You know, they definitely spent time working on her spirit arts. They definitely spent time working on her. He gave her the name, which is the same girl, the same name of the girl that he liked before. He had to say a sweet goodbyes to Latifah, which I'm sad that he keeps leaving her behind because she's not this helpless little girl, and she obviously loves him quite a bit. So I was very sad about that, and he finally got his mobile house as well. So as we move into next week's episode, obviously it's gonna be all focused on Celia, what ends up happening there. Really enjoyed the episode. I still really enjoy the anime. I love this anime. It's one of those guilty pleasure things, even though it's tropey and this dude is just a Kirito replica. I actually kind of like his character and character development and what drives him. I like it a little bit more than Kirito's. You know, initially, like the more current version of Kirito, I like quite a bit. You know, in the Alicization stuff. But the past Kirito, I like Rio's motivations more so than what Kirito's was in the beginning. Like, I really like that he has this dual personality, the dual spirits. He's being driven by revenge, but he's not being, like, mindlessly driven by revenge. He knows what he's doing. He's doing intelligent moves. He's not being stupid about it, but he's still pursuing it, and he understands what the outcome of pursuing that would end up being, too. Overall, I really love the anime. I really love the character. And even though with this tropey stuff, it does kind of damper it a little bit for me, but I still love it quite a bit. Let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Spirit taking form. Let me know what you think about Spirit basically just being the girl that he had the crush on before, and now she's stuck with him. And let me know what you think about Celia getting married. Like, what a twist, right? All right, guys, if you missed our reaction, check it out. It's coming on screen right now. Go check that out, and we'll see you guys next week for episode number 11. Peace out, friends.